परमगुरुभ्यो श्रीमदानन्दतीर्थभगवत्पादाचार्योभ्यो नमो नमः। नारायण परिपूर्ण गुणार्णवाय विश्वोदयस्थितितोले नियतिप्रताय ज्ञानप्रदाय विबुधा सुरसौख्यदुःखसत्कारणाय विददाय नमो नमस्ते। यो विप्रलिम्ब विपरीतमतिप्रबोधान् वादान् नरस्य कृतवान् भुविदत्ववादं सर्वेश्वरो हरिरीति प्रतिपादकं तम् आनन्दतीर्थमुनिवर्यं नमामि। पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Welcome friends again for this continuing journey of Kathopanishad. It's a very important section of the third Valli. We have come to the sadhana part of it. We have been so far seeing, how to get into the ultimate bliss, the ultimate bliss in the terms of knowing ourselves as to how we have to proceed the life in this particular birth which we have taken. Even though we have come through, we have seen every experiences and all, how to cogently take all the experiences together and put it forth with a focus so that our living can be much more happier than what we have lived all through. That's what it says. We have lived through all through. It's not that we have not lived. We have lived. We have gone through everything. We have done everything. And we are having and we are taking care of everything. We are taking care of our family. We are taking care of the friend circle, profession, and even otherwise, whatever our sort of ordained our obligations are there, we are doing, which we have taken up on our own. Sometimes, it has been imposed on us as duty bound. We have to do everything we are doing. Despite that, because it's not the be all and end all. You cannot just be floating around just like that. You will have to find, because you have been halting and faulting and struggling to find, because sometimes, you have not gone through as it is, you are not kept the mooring of yours, go through the life in a sort of a linear fashion. In the sense, linear is the happiness. The life will be non-linear. There will be ups and downs. It is like a musician, because when he has, crescendo, he goes to the highest pitch, he comes down, because he comes down also. But then the Shruti, the Laya is remaining as it is. Without the Shruti, you will not be able to do. That is permanent. Whatever is being in the background, that is permanent. But you may be giving delineation of your raga, and you are given in the exposition of the raga, you can embellish it, with your swaras. Everything can happen. This is same thing like in orchestra also. In orchestra, because when a conductor does it, he gives prominence to certain instrument, and he tries to bring it down, because then he gives a sort of further crescendo into that, so that finally, when the output, when it comes, it not only takes you, into a different realm, because where you are forgetting yourself, it's as if you have gone into a deep sleep. In the sense, you are forgetting your presence there, you are forgetting your existence in this world, you are transported into the another world. That transcendence, when it takes place, that is godliness. That, of course, you may be enjoying during the concert. If you are a connoisseur of music, you understand the nuances of the music, you will be able to enjoy much better. But if you are, even if you are not a connoisseur, you just listen to the music, that for the pleasantness of it, it gives you some feeling, that blissful feeling, and the happiness it gives you, momentary happiness, you listen to that. So, but you don't understand, but the connoisseur will be able to understand, and you will be able to appreciate. But even if you are not able to appreciate, you will be able to get that. It is like this. So when we say, we talk about God realization, or when we talk about, because finally you will have to understand yourself, the Paramatma is in everyone, why don't you see that? And we will not be able to see. See, we will just not be able to see, because, when you say God, because you think of it, because it disappears. He never, appears in front of you and all, because he is not seen. But whereas anything else, you open your eyes, everything appears in front of you. Because whether you want to, because whatever comforts you want, whatever, the facilities you want, whatever sort of help you want, everything, you try to look for in the things available in front of you. So when we are doing, because what we are doing is, we are finally not finding the source which is always with us, and who is always remembering you. You are not able to remember him, or you are not able to give an attention to him. That starts, how it starts? For that process only, when we discipline ourselves, get into the mode of, because whatever we call it, meditation or dhyana and all, what we try to focus on our breath. That is the only thing, which we can feel. The breath is incoming and outgoing, which is there, which has kept you alive all these days. Not only kept you alive, it has kept alive all the living beings in this world. So when it is there, and that is where, you are able to see, yourself, as you enter into a sort of a mode, you are able to get into yourself, get closer to yourself. As long as you have been kept away, because whenever we are seeing this world, whatever is happening, we are being kept into this world. Taking that into account only, what we have discussed last 2 weeks, it is telling, because the senses are, the more, which is there, but they are subtler than the objects. Though it is say subtler than the objects, the senses are an instrument, they give it. But the sensibility is subtler than the senses. Because when you are seeing the objects, you are feeling you are looking for the sensibilities. If you are looking at a sweet, whether it is a Mysore pak or Badusha, you are just focusing on the sweetness of it, not the shape or size of the Badusha, or not the shape or size of the Mysore pak. Because the moment you take it, you will not be able to explain the taste, but you will be able to feel the taste. It is more to be experienced than to be expressed. So realizing and yourself and realizing who you are and realizing who is your closest friend, everything is more to be experienced than to be expressed. You will not be able to give a full-fledged comprehensive explanation of anything and all. You will be able to feel the glimpse of it once in a while when it comes on its own in those mystical moments which you never expected. Those mystical moments, it came anywhere. When you go and go to a temple, the moment, you forget, for that half a second or the nanosecond, what you get, or when you see, when you go to the Tirupati or Guruvayur, wherever it is, that half a second, when you are able to see the wry smile, the compassionate smile that comes for a moment, because when they show the Aarti or, these Mangalarti and all, you will be able to see that is the only moment, the half a second, that's all. But that pleasantness, you cannot be displace it when any other present. Okay, you go all the way, spending all the way to here. You go to Badrinath and to for what? Just to see the few moments we are sending, that place which has got the vibration, which has accumulated the vibration of everything. When it has accumulated the vibration of everything, it is able to give, because that is the place it is available. When you are having a cow, because you are just the cow graces, you are keeping the cow, and then finally you will have to milk the cow only from its udders. The milk comes from only from udders. The temple or wherever you go and the vibration is there, they are the one collective. There only you will be able to get. You will not be able to get the same vibration if you go to a mall. You will not be able to get the vibration same because a museum. But there you will be able to get a different, because then there you will have to see what is your interest, how the culture has grown. You will have to have a different type of, but you will not be able to get the same vibration. But one who has got the interest, one who has mastered the art, one who is able to appreciate, for him that is the worship. The man who knows, the culture, because what are all the nuances of various culture of the human beings, how they have evolved from Stone Age, how we have come to this stage, where we have become beings, with all the comforts available to us, and we are going into some spaces, we are going into the moon, and we are also talking about so many things, going to explore the other stellar spaces and all. When all these things happens, yes, that is the interest, but whatever interest you are taking in, finally what you are concentrating is, or trying to do, that skill and the sincerity and the focus, that is the worship. Why it is a worship? Because you are not talking about yourself. You are forgetting yourself. The entire Adhyatma is to forget about me and I. That is what exactly, because what the first mantra of Bhagavad Gita is, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Mamakam, because that's what it says, Mamakam Pandavascheva, Mamakam is my people. He is not able to consider his own brothers' children as his own. Because in Mamakam, mine, because in the laptop is mine, this is mine, that is mine. How long? No, how long it is mine? As long as the breath is there, you will have that I. After the breath goes off, it is, you are insentient like the laptop, nothing more than that. So therefore, because once you leave that, the amount of bliss you will get, That is something. When you are able to live, when you are focusing on something more important, which is focusing on much more eloquent, which is more sort of energizing yourself. Every cell of your part is being energized. When a Picasso draws a painting or a Raja Ravi Verma does it, he is not bothered. All his cells are focused on what is he doing. The moment he comes, his fingers they may move. This is all the skill. That is what finally the energy that is given by him. So in the entire world, that is one particular Gita is there, because we will talk about it. He is always giving you the energy to do everything, even to talk now, even to sit here, and even to do everything. And right from morning, whatever I have done, he has given the energy. But if I think, I have been doing it because I can still do it. But when I have the I consciousness, your energy level comes down. You are not able to get the sort of a perennial energy that is coming to you from the source. You are not able to access that. That is the purpose. Why? Because is it not doing? Everyone is talking about, because the foul and filthy languages that's being bandied about, in the election year, in everywhere, and all. You see, I did it, they did not do it, and who are they or who are he? It is finally got done by someone else. No one does it. It all happens. You happen to be there. It is like a traffic police. He may be showing the hands. In the Calcutta traffic police, we used to say he will only show the hands, but the traffic will take its own course. It is like that. The world will take its own course. You think, you happen to be there because I have done this and all. That feeling, once you know that, that's why we will also discuss, because how to achieve that, because why it is the highway to happiness, highway to your highest evolution. To flourish to your full potential that is required. Not that, because then you will be able to access yourself, appreciate yourself, you will be able to love yourself, you will be able to cut what you deserve, what you got it as a birthright. It's everyone's birthright. But we are not able to access, we are not able to do it because we have surrounded ourselves with the fence of I, and we have put ourselves in the egg. We are not able to open up the egg and come out of it and to know what is it. So egg cannot be a living being unless it is opened, unless it is being finally got the energy, for the shells are opened up and it comes, then only the life utters, the life comes. That is exactly, this Upanishad is trying to tell us, look, because that is where, that's your innate being of yours. Why don't you get that? That is what all philosophy, irrespective of the philosophy, Dvaita, Advaita, this and that, or even Islam, Christian, everything and all, even Judaism, everything they point out to that, where is the highest bliss? That highest bliss comes when you are able to differentiate yourself, go out of yourself, and see your real self and all. The seeing the real self will not be possible with the static eyes, because this sthula sarira we will not be able to get. It is a sushma. When we have to reach the sushma, why it is, that is what we talked about last week. Why that sushma is, what sushma is, we call it astral. Astral in the sense, because when you in a deep sleep, when you experience, that you have gone into a sort of a splendor, when you have been floating in the air, because you are going on a golden chariot, something like all those things may come. And when it comes in your dream, it is not, because when you come back, you will not be able to find the golden chariot and all, because it's all Utkarshata, what we have seen in, because Mandukya Upanishad, it is coming out, whatever you have collected that comes out. When it comes out, it takes you to the glorious heights. When you are getting into that, because then you have that feeling only the moment, till such time you are in sleep. Once you come out, it goes up, because again you are into this world. You will have to deal with the world. Then you are always, your energy is being spent on how to deal with the world, how to get the best out of it, how to go unscathed in this world, because everything is trying to give you some pleasure or pain, some obstruction or something like that. So you are working on that entire thing to ward off. It is not at all necessary. You open yourself, you be what you are. All of us are not what we are. When we talk, when we behave and all, we have got a sort of fence around us. Because we have got the attitudinal fence. We think, this is the way I will be considered to be a better person by other or best by other. No, I want to project myself. What I am not, because I am trying to project what I am. That is where we are doing the double life. We are not what we are. If you really see into, once you are getting into Adhyatma, you know who you are. You are much, much bigger than with all these small wants, because all these small caricatures and the small, small things which you are doing for satisfying yourself sometimes, or satisfying someone else, or trying to live for others, by projecting an image. All these things will go off. Then, once the barrier is broken, you are just a blissful soul in the light of the sun. He is giving you the full energy and you will be able to get that. That is exactly, we saw that last mantra in continuation of what we have seen last 2 weeks. Yesha Sarveshu 1.3.12 is the mantra. It is in your page 72, 72, 73. Yesha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Gudovatmana Prakashate. Yesha Sarveshu, Yesha Sarveshu in the sense, Sarve everything, whether even a blade of grass from the Brahman who is supposed to have created all of us. So it entire gamut of it. Sarveshu is the wonderful word in the Sanskrit. It doesn't mean, Sarveshu in the sense all human beings or nothing. It is right from the beginning. The person, if there is a Brahma who was created, from him to lowest, because which you are being with your feet, you are just trampling, even that a blade of grass. Isha Sarveshu, everything together in the whole sweep of it. Then it covers everything in the stellar spaces, the earth, everything, whatever it can. Yes, Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Bhuteshu is the sense sentience, everything, all the living beings. We are all Bhuteshu, we are all here, sentient, breath is there, and through his, he is living there and he is always with you. So we are all here. Bhuteshu, Yesha Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Gudo Atmana Prakash. Gudo, he is in a sort of a unknown place. He is a treasure. He is hidden in you. He is hidden in you. You will have to find out from him, because you will not be able to find out with the body, mind and intellect. How am I to find? You don't have to search everyone. That is what Bharadiyar says. Ayiram Devangal Undendru Tedi Alayum Ariviligal. Ulladanaitilum Ullodiyai Ullada Atma. Ulladanaitilum Ullodiyai. He is there inside us. So when he says Buddha Atma, in the sense he is very much inside us, but we are not able to access. But he is accessing you every moment. He is giving you the energy every moment. He is remembering you every moment. Are you able to? That is exactly the question. If that is the case, whether you believe God or not, and all, that is the power which is giving you entire energy. Whether you call it consciousness, whether you call it Vishnu, Vishnu, or it is the bliss which you are getting out of it, the Shivoham, whatever it is saying, you have got that power with you. Without that, you will be nobody. So when you say you are a sentient, without that you will never be a sentient. Even the insentient is there. If you are insentient also, that's why he said even a blade of grass he is there. Gudo Atmana Prakashate, because he will not be showing yourself, because just like that. Yesha Sarveshu Bhuteshu is not so casual, you will be able to see him every time and all. You will have to take a special effort. Special effort to get into yourself, to know yourself, to understand yourself, to love yourself, to find the happiness in yourself. You are happiness personified. You don't know how great a being you are. But you are just, because you are, when you say, I am suffering, I am unfortunate, I had this problem, and that means, because it's all ignorance, the sheer ignorance. Out of that we are telling, you don't have to, and you are not. To understand that only, you need the sadhana. What are all the sadhanas? We are seeing again, as per the third Valli, one after the other, we will be seeing this. What is this sadhana we will have to see? So therefore, then see, in this context only, we will have to bring the entire, because last two mantras, what he says, the sense is subtler than, sensibility is subtler than the senses, the mind is subtler than the sensibilities. What is sensibilities? Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, all the qualities, the qualitative experience what you have. To eat, it is so tasty. To hear, it is so fine, because so pleasant. To see, it is some sort of a source to the bliss, because you are able to see, because Burj Khalifa, you go and see in Dubai and you are enamored of that. You see the Statue of Liberty or Taj Mahal, everything is enamored of that. But anyway, for that moment, will you be able to carry the Burj Khalifa or Taj Mahal with you? But the similar experience when you are able to find, you will be able to carry that. You will not be able to carry the objects you appreciate with you always. Only a moment. You can also go and say 1918, 98, I had been to Dubai, I had seen the Burj Khalifa. I had seen Taj Mahal way back in the 80s. I have seen so many times. Okay, only that moment you might have seen and enjoyed that. All those things. So the qualitative one, because the mind is more important, more subtler than that. The mind remembers you the occasions when you did. Today, you can, if I ask you when did you go to Taj Mahal, you will say yes, I went in 18th November 1888. That's the first time I went. You may be able to remember the date because these are all one of the wonders, and it is imprinted on your mind. Even you don't have to write and all. But if you see, last time when you had a pleasant, because sleep, and when you had, because the good food, because you enjoyed that. When you were walking, what is the pleasant feeling what you had when you had, you will not be able to remember because that comes and goes. You don't give any attention because you are giving attention to what will have an appreciation of the world. If I had seen Taj Mahal, the people will be appreciate. Yes, he has seen the Taj Mahal. But if someone has said, I had always been having a blissful sleep. I have never felt, I am sleepless. And I have been living the life like that. Always some unknown happiness is there with me. Will you be able to say, I think he will be a mad guy? He doesn't know what is he talking about. The madness, perhaps the method of madness is what they are talking about. There is a method in the madness also. That is the method they are going to describe to us. And we have to, if it is madness, we should have it. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was considered to be mad. He talked about all those things and he was telling, because why don't you, when he said, even the small thing, you can go to her, she will give you, or even, because why don't you yourself, you are a divinity personified. And when someone come with the problem, he said, this is not a problem at all, it's something better is there and all. See, these are all the ways of the world, because you will have to live in this world with the ways of the world. When you are living in this world, you cannot be something different. Suppose if a person has lost some his own close, the sibling or some close person who is his family member and all, you can't go and tell him philosophy and all, because for everyone, because being a mortals, having been used to the ways of the world, what we say, time is the healer. As you pass the time is the healer. The time is the healer, because it's like Einsteinian time, where it doesn't have any sort of a dimension. But we say, because as the days goes by, the person will be totally in grief. But maybe after some period of time, when you say, when he sees things around, how because similar things have happened to so many people, and he just gains, because okay, he takes it, it's a part of the life. And after some period of time, it says, because it's not that even worse than this has happened. When he sees that, see, you will have to get happiness, or you will have to do something, you will have to find something much worse than what other person has suffered than what you also. Then, you see, these are all the things that has happened. That is the human way of thing. But once you get into this, that's why when Buddha asked, the lady who came to him and said, look, because my son has passed away, will you be able to revive him? You are a great soul. He said, I will do, provided you go and get the rice from the house where there is no death. He said, I will certainly do. He didn't say, because I can't do that, because she is in such a state of mind, she can't. But then you go and get the rice from any one house or any house, where there is nothing such a thing has happened at all. Of course, because finally she realized herself, because that is the way the great people, make us understand, because by our own suffering, because how it is there, and it's like that it happens. So likewise, because when you do say, because sensibilities are more subtle than the mind, carries all those things. It carries, because all kacharas as well as it also carries the Ganges. But finally, slowly, you will have to leave out the kachara. It's not that, you will have to eliminate. You don't give attention to any of the things that is coming to you. We all know we have got the intelligence to understand what is good and what is bad. But when a bad thing happens, or something, there is a propensity to do the bad thing, some bad thought comes, you simply leave it out. How you leave it out? focus on something else which is more important to you. You will not be able to live out, because by doing that you will be, because once you consciously try to live out, that will come back to you in a larger dimension to you. It will take a gigantic proportion. If you try to control yourself, you try to remove the thought from you, that is not at all possible. Thought will come, but then you will have to ignore. How will you ignore? You take to the better. So when we say give up the desire, how will you be able to give the desire? Tomorrow iPhone 16 comes, everyone is having. Will you be able to give up the desire? And it has got all the features which is helpful to you also. It will give you all the entire, because it may be able, even the MRI feature in it will give you, you don't have to go to an MRI also. It may have that. At that point of time, what you will say? I will have to have. But then I will be using it as only as a gadget. My desire for iPhone will go off if I have something better than that. The desire is to knowing yourself, to knowing how big you are. You are much more a gracious creature than the iPhone 16 and all these things which is coming about. And your greatness you will be able to understand once you are having something like that, because when you are finding some bliss in, because like listening to the pure music, fine music, or listening to something, which is soothing to your mind, and listening to, or, because seeing, reading something, which is taking you to out of this, the entire physical world, taking you to the different realm of life, that is more important. Likewise, because the desire for God is like that. Desire for God in the sense, whether you call it, the God is there or God is not there. My God is bigger than yours, because we have called Ekshadevata. I will say, because I am doing this for years, I know this is the most effective God. Why do you go into the other God? You may have all those things. From Ishtadevata, everything and all, finally it takes you to the ultimate person, who has brought the entire thing. Even the Ishtadevata, he is the one who is giving the power. That power, whether you call it consciousness or whether you call it Narayana, whether you call it Vishnu, everything, that is the power which we are finally trying to attain. That is why it says, Yesha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Gudoatmana Prakashate Drishyate. Drishyate in the sense, it happens and it is seen in the sense, how will it be seen? Ekagraga Chinta. Ekagraga Chinta in the sense, when you are doing, when you are reading even some, forget about scriptures, something, about some sort of things, it is talking about, how people's life has changed, from misery to what they have, how they realized, to the highest potential. When you read even the biographies, read it, don't give it up halfway through. Book reading is so important. Reading the book takes you, everything out of you, and once you are able to focus reading when you do it, you are able to get the best out of it. You get into that. Once you understand that, you will know similar thing, a person could come out. Why can't I? If Viktor Frankl could come out of the guillotine, because I have narrated the story sometime in the Kathopanishad days. He was in guillotine. He was to be executed. And all his friends, his own cousins, his own uncle was waiting to be guillotined. He was in this gas chamber. But finally, he had a faith. In the sense, if something has to happen, happen. But, something will have to happen, till such time, something could be learnt out of that. Something which gives you a hold. He held that. Finally, as it happened, he could come out of he could escape the gas chamber, and then he only propounded his entire theory. The theory we talked about, we will also talk about in future also. That is fair, because when can you think about, have you got that? We have not got that. We have got a simple impediments. We consider it to be insurmountable. You don't have the confidence. You have to get the self-belief. You will have to have the self-belief. For the self-belief, you will have to have a fold. Aadhaar. What is that Aadhaar card of yours? Your Aadhaar card is your belief in something, which is folding you, talking to you and helping you and all. You have got someone with you. Not even the entire world is not with you. There is a person with you. There is a being with you. Gudatma. Gudatma, when you say Swagriya, only Ekagraga Chinta, when you are able to see, there is someone, I don't have to talk to anyone. If there is a big problem also, I will talk to my own being, who is with us, with me always. I will talk to him. I will think about it. And I will face it. I will sort of talk to face with him. There is no question of not talking to him. I will be, because he is trying to talk to me. I am not able to listen to him. So once you have it, Agraya Buddhaya. Buddhaya in the sense it is the highest intellect. When you have got the discriminating, Buddha is called Buddha because the Buddhaya evolution, the highest Buddhaya is the Buddha. The Buddhaya, no, the word which has come in is the one who is, that is why, because in our scriptures also a lot of, always, the debate takes place. Buddha is basically a sort of a Hindu only, but since he was having the highest intellect, he has been called Buddha and all. That is one way of looking at it, but he had propounded his own philosophy, everything and all. He has taken a different stance altogether to bring the people out of the misery at the point of time. When you get Buddhaya, Sushmaya in the sense it is more subtle. It has to be experienced. Supposing if you say, someone has gone there, because, it has happened to a lot of us. Even, during my Himalayan trip recently, in one particular hiking, when we have to trek to Mahatar Baba and when we are coming up, it was a slope, which I have to climb up the slope. It was quite a stiff one. Of course, I had help. Someone was keeping my hand and all. Holding my hand, I was just climbing up. But one Baba who was just passing by, who showed us the way, he was not talking. Maybe he was observing Mauna Breath or something like that. He didn't talk to anyone. He just came back and pushed me, holding my jacket so tightly and gave me a push. I just didn't feel, any pain in climbing and all. I just could climb up like anything. But of course, after some period of time, he vanished. But the only thing I can understand, it is not a human touch. It is not a human push. It's just not possible. We know what is push. We have experienced. When I came to that, and afterwards he disappeared and he had not talked to anyone and all. This is something, because if you are not able to focus on that, because this is, you are fortunate enough to have this mystical experience. Who could have given this experience? Unless he is walking with you, he has given you this experience. Why that Baba should come all the way? Because he was somewhere, he was showing us the way, he was going in his way. After seeing us, we are struggling to climb up, without we being aware, he came and he pushed us. He took us up to, once we have crossed and he left us there and he went up. This is exactly what happens. And this we are not able to focus. We think, it is a sort of a nature of, it happens just like that. Just like that, it doesn't happen. Every moment when something happens, it is, because when you think of, if I take ice cream, it will be good. Suddenly you find, your daughter has sent sent ice cream. It is delivered at your doorstep, Swiggy or something like that. That is, he gives it. It is not that you thought how it came. The vibration has gone and because it all happens. When you think, today if it is good, if I can go to this place, someone comes and gives you an opportunity. Why don't you come there? Because we are going to have something like, you go to Guruvayur. The occasion happens. Who gives this occasion? Who makes this occasion possible? It's all he. On our own, because I have been planning to go for several years. I couldn't go. But when it suddenly happens, it is the he only makes it. Once you understand that, that is a sushma. If you think, no, I was planning, because today I got the ticket, I booked in the sense, that is all you think you are ignorant and you are deceiving yourself. The self-deception should not take place. When the self-deception takes place, you build your ego takes you, because it gives you a lot of, the strength to you in terms of arrogance. It blinds you finally, because when you fall from the grace, we have seen people, who have all been somebody, who can be revered and respected by a small slip of a thing. They will all come down like a sort of some few bottles coming down the sky. They've all come, like a water drops. They've all vanished. It all happens. Who makes all these things happen? He gives you the energy. He gives you to do everything and all. But if you are not able to take the advantage of it, because all of us are having sattva, rajasa and tamasa. And once you have, this type of, your own internal adhyatma, when you are able to recognize who is giving the power by reason of which you are able to do, and then once you give that, then it gives you the energy. You are able to understand that. And once you are able to understand that, then you find a way to live. It's not that, you are always be brooding and all thinking about it. You are doing your job with much more attention as it is required, more than what is required. And you are also doing excellently in everything, whatever you have to do to your family, to your friends, everyone and all. That is made possible by him only. One children. Sushmaya, Shushmadik Sushmaya Shushma Drishibihi. See, because when you say, because Shushma Darshibihi in the sense, he is the one who is able to understand. Darshibihi is not by seeing, understanding. Yes, it has happened because of him. It has happened because anything that good happens, even, if you have got something, because sometimes, people get, some sort of a obstruction, some sort of an impediment. They think, it has happened. Why God has made this happen? It is for you to get something better. It is for you to know how to get through that. We have not understood the life. If we have not been put through all the obstruction we have come across the life, we would not be what we are today. Now we don't take, even the simple, because someone says, we have already faced it. 100 times we have faced it. We will tell him this is nothing. We will encourage him. We will give him a word of advice. We will ask him to proceed, because that is how, the Shruti, we are passing on our wisdom to him, and he will be passing on his wisdom to others. When all these things, that is how it happens. That's why, because that Sushma Darshibi, by this, you will be able to get into the, what you say, God realization. That's why someone asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, what is this God realization? You are telling, you have realized the God and all. Whereas, your God realization to happen, first I should be free from all the problems. Dharma is a jada problem. I got a debt to be, I got a mortgage, and I have to take care of, my family, my parents, this and that, my children, all those things are there. And then once all these things are over, I will get into Adhyatma. That's all of us have been thinking. In fact, earlier we were thinking like that. When everything goes after retirement, when eyes are not working, we are hard to hear, then we will get into Adhyatma and listen to all the scriptures. That's how we planned our life. See, because that is what it says, because a youngster who listens to this, if he picks up, he will be much more glorious species than us. He would have understood. It's not that he will be giving up life and renouncing. He will be living like an emperor, because he will not be taken away by any of the situation. He just knows he will be able to come out of it in every moment of it. This is exactly Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. It is that, because when you are able to realize the God, in the sense, God is always with you, talking to you. He is trying to tell you, but you are not listening to him and you are not seeing him. This is what he said. Then he said, why don't you tell me that? So then he told him, God is there in everyone, like Sarva Bhuteshu. He said, it is there, everyone. So you should understand. The disciple, he got the understanding of his own. He said, because that's what, because in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, beautiful, I think, his examples are real life examples. He said, because Atma is in everyone. In the sense, is there a tiger Atma? This is a lion Atma. This is an elephant Atma. Is there? Yes, they are all there. They are all Atmas. We should be happy, because the same Atma in us is there also. It's also there in all the plants and other things. But then, Tiger Atma is there, you allow it to be there, because, you don't say Tiger is Atma and I am also Atma, just don't go and embrace the tiger. Because the tiger has been given the energy to do certain things, it will do. You appreciate, because the tiger has got because he has given the energy, he has given the willpower to do what he is supposed to do. He has to take the prey and, you should not become a prey to him. That you should understand. That's why, because the famous story I will just narrate, with a small anecdote, which I have shared earlier. The same, one of the Sishyas, they said everyone is Atma, because you learn to Paramatma. Like, the Advaita says, Aham Atma, Brahma, when you say, because when you say Tattvamasi, everything is there. Aham Brahmasmi, because I am Brahman, you are Brahman, everyone is Brahman. All Brahmans, why should I be, because every Brahman is, I can't go and say, Mukesh Ambani, because we are all Brahman, because your bank account is my bank account. I can't just go and ask him. It's not in the way of life. It is like that. He understood that way and all. He went to the nearby, because his forest was there. He went there and I think he saw the elephant was there and the elephant was coming. And the elephant suddenly had a sort of a change of mind. It went out of its control. So the Mahut was sitting there. He asked everyone to get around, get across, get away from the place. But this fellow said, "Why I should? I know he is also Atma. I am also Atma. I am Brahman. He is Brahman. Let me be. Because Advaita has taught me. I will go and stand there and all." And then that fellow was finally mauled by the elephant, and finally he had to recover. After recovering, he said, "Swamiji, I think always people used to say I should not depend on Swamiji. I depended on you. This is what has happened." Then Paramahamsa told him, "What you have understood? Everyone is Brahman. That there was a Mahut who was sitting on. He was also Brahman. He was trying to tell you the best for that. You have not seen that Brahman. You see, whoever you like should be a Brahman. That is what we do. Whoever we like is a Brahman. And whoever we don't like is not a Brahman." I think that. And you are not listen to that. That is the gradation. That's why, when we say Taratamya and all, when we say it's not Taratamya in the sense we are all different and all. We have got a different understanding. We have different levels of understanding. That has been brought about Taratamya. So finally, the energy is being given to the Mahut also by him, the elephant also by him, the tiger also by him, to every being like us also from him, or to all the plants also to him. Once you understand, say you will have to live within your ambit of duty and sort of the obligations, and tiger will have to live with its duty and obligation. Its duty is to prey, look for the prey. Tomorrow, because in the next birth I am taking as a tiger, I will not be sitting and talking like this Upanishad. I will be in the forest, looking for my prey. It is like that. So once we understand, we will be able to do this. It's not that, because whether we are not Brahman or whatever it is, that is not the point. There is a power within us. He is the one who is guiding us. Without that, we would not have done anything. So therefore, there is no great deal, to give away the ego. We can simply be giving there once you understand. It's a moment. With the sadhya mukti, which they say, it is a moment in the flash. Once you understand, I'm not doing anything. He is getting it done. He is giving me the energy. Why I should be thinking, I am so great and all. Once you do that, so that's why Yesha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Buddhatmana Prakashate, because it is, you will not be able to see. You will have to go into that, and you will have to see yourself, with the constant reflection, and as well as doing whatever you are doing without any of these things and all, because these things have been discussed in Gita beautifully. There are 2 verses in Gita. I will take it up and I will give a sort of a further explanation to those Gitas. We will take it up in the next week, because this is a very important mantra. This mantra has been taken for the respective interpretation of Dvaita, Visishtadvaita, Advaita, everything, even Dvaita, Advaita, everything, they have taken this mantra as the base. And from there, because how we have to achieve the sadhana of finding out ourselves, that Sushma Darshibihi, what has been said, that is the highest knowing ourselves and knowing to our glory, because to live ourselves to the fullest glory, what has been assigned to us. It's not that it is inbuilt, innate in us to find out and do that. We will be doing that. Next week we will do that. With this, I will conclude today's session. We will have one small suktam today. It is called Atma Suktam. Since in Atma is being talked about, this Atma Suktam is very important in the sense every day when we do puja in the house, when we are invoking, because whatever devata, into the pratimas or salagramas or lingas, whatever we do, we are bringing the Atman, the Paramatman who is residing in our heart. We are bringing his tejas into those pratimas, into the worship, because in the house, wherever we are doing grahastas, in the temples, in the Surya Mandala, because Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Apihitam Mukam, his energy is being brought into those, the temples and the idols. In the house, it is whatever is inside you, it has been brought over. It's a personal God. You are trying to manifest, in those pratimas and salagramas. And this Atma Suktam is very important. This will give us, the enough energy to carry on our life all through. We will go for this meditation. Today I am concluding with this. And tomorrow, the next week, we will be seeing those 2 great, the Gita slokas and the next mantra, which are going to be, next 3 mantras are going to be the immensely important, the entire scriptural history of Hinduism. We will be focusing on that. Shahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadidamastu ma Vishvidavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.